Okay. Let's see then. Let's Zoom button. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I checked on that earlier today, and there wasn't anything in for the 24th. So somebody has added this, and I wasn't aware of this registry. That's the Helm chart registry, I guess. Gabriel, is it?
That's what I reported yesterday to DAF, because around noon yesterday, everything was working fine yesterday morning, but then around noon something broke, and it's not. Yeah, this was the registry. So okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that was in a Slack discussion, was it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but I don't know who I guess DAF filled that in, but in the agenda, but yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see if Timon can get him, and hopefully we'll get some feedback on that. Okay. SSH isn't responding. Okay. Let's leave that one aside. The canonical PRs. Does anyone know what that one is about?
Well, I do know some context. I mean, I work at Canonical, and we created a bunch of pull requests in a bunch of repos, including many right now to bump the Go version to 1.21. I don't know what's the sub-bullet, though. No infrastructure issue. I don't know what we mean by that.
Yeah, just one general kind of like comment about the PRs from Canonical. I had with Ajay some kind of like periodic meetings, not just to talk about some other stuff. And last week I mentioned to him about the PRs open on the Canonical side. He mentioned that he has been like approving and merging some of those. And yesterday I was trying actually to approve one PR from in the NRF component on the CP plane. And that's what I noticed, that basically the registry was down, so the Jenkins actions, they basically didn't succeed. But yeah, we are kind of like working on that part to try to merge all the canonical PRs, at least from the 5GC.
I think we still have like at least 10 or 12 open for, but anyway, I can send the links to those later, but still quite a bit to be reviewed.
Yeah. Okay. So they were on the 5GC repos. Which workspace is that in, by the way? I was looking through the workspaces today. Is it Open Networking Lab?
I'm not sure what we're talking about here. They're on.
Well, Gabriel said that the PRs on the repos were on the 5GC. Did you say that, Gabriel?
Well, I can link to some of it. For example, if there's one under OMEC project /SMF, one in the OMEC project /UDM, UDR, AUSF, AMF. At least I think you can open any of the OMEC project 5G function, and you will see one of those PRs.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Just sorry, I for something happened with my connection, so I had to rejoin. Regarding the UPF, all the PRs from Canonical are merged already. One request from Ajay was that we need to bring back the, let's say, either Ether in a box or on ramp into the ONF infrastructure, so we can actually test all the PRs from Canonical, regarding especially the ones that are like updating the Go version in there, so to make sure that we can that nothing breaks basically.
Right.
Yeah, but the ones, for example, for the two PRs that Guilherme opened yesterday about the NRF to kind of add the dependabot and those things that we can easily merge. No additional testing is needed, but I cannot merge them because the Jenkins tasks are not successful because of the registry issue.
Oh, I see. I see. Sounds like the registry is blocking everything, and if it's not, then Jenkins is blocking everything. And yeah, it sounds like a big blocked up system. But starting with the registry seems to be the most logical step.
I believe so. From there we can start merging some like not non-functional PRs.
Right.
But probably would be good as another point, Sean, to add again to add some in the ONF infrastructure, something that we can actually start using for be able to automatically test all these different PRs that are related to functionality. That probably would be another bullet to add in there.
Sorry, I didn't get all that. Can you say it again, Gabriel?
Oh, sure. And a different kind of bullet related to the CI in general is to bring back the either Ether in a box or Ether on a ramp in the ONF infrastructure, such that we can use that, or that can be used to actually test PRs that are related to functionality on, for example, let's say we update the dependencies on the let's say Go version and the dependencies. So to make sure that everything builds as expected, and there is traffic going on through the network. So
okay. Yeah, looking around the repos this morning, I saw these repos, this Ether on ramp, and I guess this is the environment that Larry has put together that allows you, get started with that. Is that the kind of thing you're talking about, or is it something extra you would need?
it's kind of like that. So the idea is that we need either Ether in a box or we need Ether on ramp. Basically that's a way to package, a simpler way to package Ether, right? So we need either of those inside the ONF infrastructure that we can use to test the different PRs.
Right, right. And when you say within the infrastructure, do you mean like I mean, ONF doesn't have like cloud infrastructure or anything, I don't think, does it?
I don't know. It could be, on premise, but the idea is managed, I don't know, through Jenkins to do something about that.
Right.
But it seems there was something like that that was available before, but at some point it got removed. And I think this is somehow. Sorry, go ahead.
This is kind of the role we have GS Lab playing. There is a QA lab set up in India that intentionally set up to be able to do, a number of things, including regression testing. I think that there is a big holiday right now, and I don't see anybody from that group here on the call today.
Yeah, today is a holiday in India.
Yeah, so I think that unfortunately, but this is precisely the kind of thing GS Lab is supposed to help us do, and so they should be able to do some regression testing of both.
Oh, okay.
Of all of it, and maybe we just tag them here and try to get some feedback from them. I'm not sure when they're back.
The holiday is just today, so.
Yeah. So Gabriel, if you wanted to make a specific request too, you could email Larry or some of the GS Lab guys like Kunal to suggest kind of what you're looking for. If there's, if it's, I don't know if it's broad functionality you're looking for. The ultimate goal here is for them to have a spectrum of regression tests, and so and they can just run through all of that. But if you want to look specifically at UPF,
okay,
or something, that's good input as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to sync up with Larry and see how this thing is going, because it seems like this was some infrastructure that was available before, but I don't have any historical context on that regards.
Well, so everybody has the history. There was the ONF had labs, but at this point in time, a year and a half ago or so, and those were kind of transitioned in various ways. And so the Aether pieces, some of them kind of died and then were resurrected in India with GS Lab. And so GS Lab at this point in time is doing kind of, the regression testing. The GS Lab work really is under the direction of the Aether TST. It's really for the TST here to help kind of guide what they're doing. You should consider them a resource for precisely this kind of thing.
Oh, perfect.
And so that's why, and they should have everything, including physical eNode Bs and gNode Bs, as well as virtualized infrastructure. And it's really good if the TST here gives them, direction and engages with them and considers them a resource.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for that, Timon. That helps clarify and gives us a direction on that. Okay. Let me see. I was going to move on to this ONUS Live Go. So there's 2 points to this. So what I'm finding is so the Jenkins job works now. And that's fine, but it's not reporting its status back. And what that means is that you still can't merge your PR because you're waiting on the status of the CI tests to run. Now I talked to Daph about it, and he said it's a GitHub runner that does the status reporting back. I think it's called a GitHub action that does this, and it still needs fixing. So we're not in the clear with ONUS Live Go yet. So just for DAF, that's I'm going to say he needs to prioritize it, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to see that fixed. Because I mean, we need as we said before, that's a critical one for Intel, and it's something that we want to see fixed, and DAF has done great work on getting the Jenkins job back working, but we still need the other part to work, and we haven't been able to test the release process, and that's something important too. But you can't get into the release process if your merge isn't completing. So, or if your PR process isn't completing. So this is still something outstanding that might need more work. We don't know, but anyway, that's why I'd like to see this prioritized. Okay. So after or during last week's meeting, we had a discussion on access rights to the GitHub repos. And I offered to do a spreadsheet on it. And so I was going to present that today, but I was hoping Larry would be around. What I can do is I can present it and get some feedback on it today, and the next day we can hopefully Larry will be able to watch the recording and make some comment offline as well, and we can take it up next week. So that's going to take me probably 15 minutes to go through. Were there any other agenda items that anyone else had, just so that we have a track of them before I get into that spreadsheet?
Sure. One thing was kind of Larry asked us last week about, there was this request from Canonical about the PRs not being what is the process of reviewing the PRs, at least on the control plane, right? So if you see it from last week's agenda, there was one item in there. So the Canonical team actually offered one person that can join the team. So since I had this other meeting with Ajay, I talked to him about that part. And so if you go to the third bullet in where the OMEC maintenance, yeah. So basically that, it's not a problem to add another person into the maintainers group. So in this case, the name that was proposed by the Canonical team is Akin Gislan. So it's not a problem to kind of
No, I don't think
person
it
to
should
join.
be.
Yeah, so it's fine for him to join the team. And one of the important things will be to, just make sure that we properly test all the different PRs before we merge them. So that's kind of
Yeah.
the important part. And based on what Timon indicated, we can, sync up with Larry to see how the GS Lab team can help us to automate that component.
Yeah, and this is also precisely where we want to get involved, like improving the CI. Like right now, a bunch of projects do have CI, but they fail, so we don't know if we broke something or if it was already broken. So this is one place where we will get involved. So if our goal is to get this a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think it is kind of related to that discussion about access to GitHub repos. And yeah, so that I've just kind of tabbed it in there. And what I'll do is I'll just move my one down. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll give a link to that. Does that adequately cover it, Gabriel, do you think?
Just give me 1 sec. Let me double check my notes. But yeah, the other thing is that last week, basically, I had some additional spare time. So I'm sorry, early this week, I had some additional spare time. So that's what I started reviewing also some PRs from the control plane. So I can also start helping as time permits, reviewing PRs in the CP. But the relevant part would be to enable the testing infrastructure from the GS Lab part. Let's see, make sure. Yeah, I think those are the three primary things I was gonna mention. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Gabriel. Anyone else?
When time permits, though, not all the time. So
Sorry, say again.
only when there is when I have some time to do
Oh,
so.
yes.
So it's not just not all the time.
A very precious commodity.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anyone else have any other agenda items for the rest of the meeting? If not, let me just bring up this spreadsheet. So yeah, it's a little bit colorful. So the two sort of projects that I'm most familiar with is Honest Project and Open Networking Lab. And I do realize that OMIC is probably in a different namespace again and probably would need a third tab here. Actually, Gabriel, if you don't mind, do you have that OMIC GitHub project?
It's OMEC Dash project. So that's the name of the project.
Dash project. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. I couldn't find that. So how many? You've got 58 repos.
Yeah, I don't know how many of them are really needed. So I don't think they've all the 58. So
Yeah. I can see members is the biggest one here, with 90 members, and that's, yeah. You know, it looks like there's a lot of maintenance. This is 5GC maintainers. That's probably the one you were talking about. I think
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Well, let me just go through the structure that I've kind of followed for the spreadsheet, and it'll hopefully apply to OMEC as well. So if we just take the ONUS project first.
Sean, I'm assuming we only focus on 5G and not 4G anymore, right?
I'm not sure really. I mean, I presume there's a mix of repos in this.
Yeah, like C3PO, I think was mainly 4G, right?
Yeah, I think all the 4G stuff is probably here in that same project. Yeah, you can see there. Yeah, I think, you know, these projects, there weren't that many, but like they really are so different. And it can be hard to find the extent of all of them. There's no kind of one top level guide that says where they all are. Like say, for instance, this ONAS project, you know, another 82 repos there with 15 teams and a completely, you know, 205 people, and there's probably very little overlap between the projects again. So just, you know, to show what I was doing in the spreadsheet is there's, in the ONUS project, I just took a selection of like, you know, 6 different repos out of the 82. And I looked at the teams within it. So for instance, there's a core team with 17 people in it. And, you know, you can see some of those people are in this current TST and, you know, arguably could have admin rights. But then there are like people that have left Intel and ONF still have access admin rights to those repos. And, you know, I just have this kind of conditional forming here that's formatting that's showing those up in red as something that, you know, should be addressed. There are, you know, bot accounts which have, you know, doubled up access as well. There's a reviewers group in here which has write access, which probably is the right level for, you know, many of the people in XONF in Intel ESPD. Then there's an ONF staff group, and I have no idea who this person is, if they even exist, Alex ONF, and you know, maybe that
Yeah,
group.
it's me.
Oh, is it? I see. Okay.
I don't know why I'm alone there, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
you're the only one. Okay, well, thanks for solving that mystery, Alex. I mean, I think if you're in ONF, you probably should be in the core group, you know, and maybe get rid of this ONF staff group.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then there's this other honest config build bot as well. Why does, you know, a repeated one, or why does an extra one, a third bot? I don't know. And then there's a group called SD-RAN Access, and I counted what, 8 people here, and there's another 58 extras. So there's like that's a huge big group, and they just have read access. And actually, I think that's pretty much obsolete, because that was a useful thing when this was a read only, or sorry, a private repo. These things like ONA C2T and like SD-RAN in a box used to be private repos, and somebody from outside couldn't even see them. But then they all became public, and there's no need to give anyone read access because they get it by default. So, you know, I mean, that's another sort of discrepancy, I think. And then there's another group, Pronto Access, and they have read access to this SD-RAN in a box, which is totally unnecessary again. So there's actually 5 states or 5 access levels in GitHub, and this is really what they mean. And we're only using 3 of them, which is read, write, and admin. So I made these recommendations here on this set of repos that that we would keep the core and the reviewers groups, and probably the automation as well, core and automation. Right, keep core, automation, and reviewers group. What I would do is I would move the ESPD only people from this core into the reviewers group. These Ray is some person that is a person that's repeated in there. That's why I've underlined it, because he's already here. So I think he could be just deleted from this core. Adib as well. Yvonne isn't in the core group, but giving him right access is fine. So someone like Carmelo or Fatima should just be removed from the core. And I think what it would do is it would trim the core down to just the TST people, and they would have admin rights, and admin rights you can see here have full destructive access to destructive actions like deleting the repository. I mean, you only want to give that to a select bunch of people, and right now it's just wide open. So I think this is something that needs to be changed, and so the format here is just recommendations. I think I would take the ONF bot and ONF builder out of this core group, because they're already in automation and have admin access on most repos, and you could fix the one that it doesn't. That's apply automation to all repos is basically added here.
Sean?
Yeah?
Question, why do the bots need admin access?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah, maybe they don't. Maybe they need maintain access. That's a good point. Also, maybe reviewers could be changed to maintain. I'll just put that in. So change group to maintain. Yeah, good point. Thanks, Gabriel. And so there's like a lot of things, and I think SD-RAN access, we have 68 names there. Maybe that's a useful group of people that have shown interest in SD-RAN before, and maybe rather than just getting rid of the whole group, maybe I'd give them a higher right, like triage or something like this. That they could manage issues and do pull requests. And then somebody who has maintain access can review those pull requests. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. Let's not get rid of SD-RAN access. Pronto access probably can go now, because that's an obsolete project, and it tends to overlap here with SD-RAN access anyway.
Just one question about the Pronto access. Is that for the Pronto DARPA project, or it's a different thing?
It's hard to know, really. I mean, if I look here and I look at the teams.
So, for the Pronto one, yeah, we still need, we should still keep the access, at least until next April, right? Because there is some continuation of the project, of the work.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to understand, whether this is related to that Pronto DARPA, or is something just named from the repo perspective.
Right.
Because if it is from operational perspective, we don't necessarily need, that wouldn't be really necessary. But
yeah, so what this is showing me here is that the Pronto access team has access to only one repo, which is SD-RAN in a box. So I mean, that's this line here. So I think I could
Then
take these people and put them into SD-RAN access,
no,
and
but Sean, so from that perspective, the Pronto access is not needed anymore from GitHub group perspective, given that the SD-RAN in a box is an open source, is a public repository. So there's no need for that in that regards.
Yeah, that's true. Really, the only thing I was thinking of is if you were to change these R's read-only to triage, maybe that's why you'd want to keep it, or keep those list of people. But as you see yourself, you're in that group yourself.
Yeah.
And I think people like Nate Foster, are probably not that much involved in it anymore. I'm not really sure.
But regardless to that, my point is, the repo itself, which is only the SD-RAN in the box, is already a public repo. So
yes, it is.
Regardless of what, whether you give it the read access, it's already have a read access given a public repository. So you can just get rid of that group as well. The Pronto access, there's not relevant. And probably it's the same thing for the SD-RAN access group as well. All those repos that you have on the left are already public repos.
Yes, they are. They're all public repos now. Yeah, that's exactly the point. Okay. So I was just going to flick quickly to Open Networking Lab, and I just considered a small few groups or teams and a small few repos here. So this is Open Networking Lab now. So you have the new ones that Larry has been creating, Aether on-ramp in there. And, what I can see is that these, I just copied these over. There's a copy and paste error, but it's not really as well structured. There's no well, actually, I couldn't even get in to see, because I don't have admin access myself, I can't see who has access to what on Aether on-ramp. All I was able to tell is that there's an Aether group which contains Larry and Wujong, and they're there as maintainers.
Yeah, Sean, based on the names or rows 15 to 21, those are the repos related to Aether on-ramp. So
yeah.
And that's what Larry is kind of managing. And the two outside people, I guess there is one Shabazz and Bilal who are working with Larry on the Aether on-ramp. And Wujong was added because he's integrating the SD-RAN in a box into a Aether on-ramp. So
right, yeah. And so what I could do here is if I said these people were in TST, then the coloring goes away and it's not a problem. So that was really what I was going to ask.
Okay, Shabazz is part of the TST actually.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's not a problem. But that's the kind of thing that that's like, as you can see, there's 51 other repos here, and the question is what are going to be the recommendations and actions out of all these. What I'll do is I'll add OMEC project here as another tab, and we can have a discussion next week on what to do about those recommendations and who's going to do this tidy up work. And whether it's worth doing and all of those kind of questions. I mean, I think it is, because these people having admin access, even after they've left ONF and Intel, probably isn't the right thing to do. And I think somebody from ONF needs to come in and be an owner on this, so maybe that's staff, maybe that's, I don't know who it is. But yeah, somebody needs to take ownership of it. So really that's what I wanted to show in the spreadsheet. Hopefully Larry will get a chance to look at the recording of this, and we can continue the conversation next week when Daph and Larry are back.
Hey, Sean, thanks so much for proactively taking a look at this. Yeah, this looks like a good thing to get cleaned up. This is great.
Okay, thanks, Simon. So yeah, I had a problem sharing it. I was trying to share it with Larry. I have it shared with everybody in Intel. So Gabriel, hopefully you'll be able to take a look at least. And I think I have to, like, I was trying to add Larry. I think he's LLP, is he?
He is, but it looks like there are some permissions on this that you can't add outside of Intel. It looked maybe, but it should be, yeah, LLP at Open Networking if you want to just try specifically.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe if you can click on, or somebody from ONF can click on the link in the document, I might get a request. You know, if you can just click on that link, see if I get a request, and I'll try and approve it then. But
I'll do that
let's
right
see
now.
what response you get.
Yeah, just sent you a request.
Okay, let me just check my email.
Let me know if that works. The other thing is that we can create a document and I can share with you and you can just copy the content over and delete.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that might be, yeah, because it would be in your project workspace then.
Exactly. If
I could
necessary,
copy this
just let me know.
over.
Send me an email.
Yeah, I didn't get, oh, hang on. Yeah, I see it now. Share a spreadsheet, manage sharing.
Right.
Hopefully you should be able to, yeah, you have it now.
All right, good, thanks. I can add Larry then.
Yeah, get Larry to click on it too, and I'll see the email. Okay. 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 All right then. So that's all I had. I think there's probably no point, you know, delving into more detail on those repos until we get some feedback from Larry and Daph, and we'll do that next week.
Is there any pending from last week, Sean?
Let me just yeah. Let's have a look. So yeah, we covered the canonical PRs. The Onus Live Go, we've also taken note on that. The OMEC maintainers, I think you got a
Yeah.
picture there. I think we're saying it's okay to add Ghislaine and yourself. Okay. No, Onus maintainers, yeah. So that's really what the spreadsheet is about. So that was that one. Report out from the ransom review. Split microservices to scale. I didn't see who was sharing this video clip.
Oh, that's a meeting that happened last week with Wu Jun, and I think it's now they have a recurring meeting for the run simulator review. I'm not sure how the video. I don't know.
Okay.
No, so we recorded that meeting, and Wu Jong just wanted to check if it's okay to publish that on our wiki, or if it's considered Intel internal or whatnot. So, and the slides as well. So this is why we need to see if they can be made public.
Okay.
And yes, now we have a weekly meeting. It's 2 hours before the Aether TST. And yeah, we welcome anyone who wants to contribute there.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's the next one, the last one they have in the list. That one.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Oh yeah, this. Oh, you have set up the weekly meeting, Alex. Did you say?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And you've invited anyone that's necessary. Do you have the link? Maybe you could.
Yes, exactly. I
Yes,
can
if
paste
you
the link in the chat.
Okay.
So this is the link to the wiki. Maybe you
Right.
can add it to the minutes.
Let me just. Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Okay, just let's cover the QA status. So adding integration tests for multiple UPFs, and they're going to reproduce steps in the on-ramp guide. Need to verify UPFs are forwarding traffic. Larry, to specify the check. I guess that's the check to make. So let me just add. I don't know if we have.
I don't think we have the right people here today.
Yeah. I'm going to just tag it with a comment. All right. So we have a set of questions to raise. So do we know who was doing this?
I think it was Larry as well, because if you see the second bullet, sub-bullet, it says, I know, have a set of questions raised. Then I have no idea. I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. So another one for Larry. But it looks like it was somebody else who was supposed to summarize it in a Google Doc and then share it with Larry. Well, yeah, we don't know who that is, and I'm not really sure what it was in relation to, whether it was UPFs or whether it was just QA status. Okay, never mind. I mean, I'm sure Larry has that in his mind anyway. Let's see. So we're now testing a blueprint with UE ran sim to include a throughput test, and that's to be added to nightly build. So not sure who that is.
Yeah, no, I think this is related to internally we were doing some throughput tests using URANSIM, and then Suresh shared with Larry the YAML file that we were using for the Ether in a box configuration for these tests. And then it's supposed to be that the Larry with the rest of the on-ramp team were sharing this, I think, with GSLab to do the same kind of or replicate the same thing on ramp and try to do these nightly builds to make sure that they still achieve the same throughput performance when there is new changes on the code.
Right. Okay, so I mean, I don't want to update last week's meeting too much here, but I think it's let me just add a bullet point here that we QA status. I'm just going to say we could not get any progress. Oh, I don't know. I'm missing keys on many points. Very fussy is that. Oh, that okay. Okay. Let me see. I think that that covers most of the things from last week. Let me see. Does anyone have any other items you want to bring up? If not, we can draw this meeting to a close and I guess continue with those working on those issues and be in a more informed state for next week's meeting. Very good.
Very good. Thank you, Sean,
Okay.
for stepping in today.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Sean.
Timon. Pleasure as always. And thanks to everybody for attending. So the recording will be there, and please update the notes if you have any progress on anything.
Okay.
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.